Hi, I'm Olive and I work with the UK Therapy Guide. And we had a lot of inquiries to find out a bit more about how online therapy worked. And I thought, who better to ask than our co-founder, Floss Knight?
Good morning, everybody, and a happy Monday. It's Monday today, and can be a difficult day, but hopefully we'll enlighten some people. People often ask about online therapy and the differences. So I'd be delighted to answer any questions that you might have. And I'd also encourage anybody, if you have a question for us and something that you'd like to ask, just email us at introductions@uktherapyguide.com, and we'd be happy to either include or make a podcast related to that subject.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just dive right into it. Can you explain what online therapy is and how it differs from your traditional in-person therapy?
Okay, so many years ago, there wasn't such a thing as online therapy. Occasionally, I had clients that were in different countries, and I would do phone therapy with them, and that was, something that you would do probably quite temporarily. Now, online therapy is what it says on the can. It's where you will have a Zoom meeting, and you will have the therapy from your own home or from your office. It certainly is an incredibly convenient way of having therapy, and it has all sorts of benefits. And it came to the fore, and we had huge demand in lockdown where people were obviously on their own. And so there's still much more of a demand now, increasingly so, for online therapy. So it's one of the things that we provide. The choices are, you can have Zoom therapy, you can have Google Meets therapy, some people choose WhatsApp therapy, and you could simply have a phone conversation, and some people prefer that.
Thanks for that. And how does online therapy make mental health more accessible?
Okay, so this is a really good question. Basically, it means you can have therapy wherever you are in the world. You could be on a small island somewhere struggling with your mental health. You can link into your therapist, makes it far more accessible. It can be cheaper than face-to-face therapy. That's also worth noting. And if you have agoraphobia or something like that, it also means that you can get help and support with that. So it's a great modality. You can also have, if you're living abroad, you could have therapy in the UK with in your mother tongue, which is how people choose to have their therapy. So it's very accessible. You can have it at any time of day. You cut out the travel as well, so you're saving time in many ways. So hopefully that answers the question.
And also, if you live, in the countryside, you may not have a therapist that you connect with that close to you. So that's
Sure.
online therapy would help massively with that. And how does the convenience of online therapy sessions impact the frequency and consistency of therapy for clients?
Well, it's really actually important, and I would highly suggest to anyone and everyone that's having therapy that you have therapy at the same time, on the same day every week, because that pattern creates stability. It's a holding space, and it has a really important therapeutic benefit. So you have a pattern. So every Monday, you know that you're going to spend that time with your therapist, exploring what's going on for you in the here and now. And it's really regulating, and that's incredibly important because people can feel dysregulated. So it's about finding that space where it's calm, and it feels secure in that modality.
Thanks so much. And do clients generally feel more comfortable opening up during online sessions? And if so, why?
Okay, that's another really good question. So it absolutely depends. And I've seen clients both ways. It can be more settling, and I think it's a personal choice actually. And you can work in a hybrid pattern and occasionally see your therapist face to face, but mainly online. I think what's important about the therapeutic process is that the client does feel really comfortable in the space with the therapist, and that comes about through working together on an ongoing basis. But sometimes it can feel like it's a really overwhelming to go somewhere unfamiliar. So in a way, if you're having online therapy, it's super easy. So kind of you're in your own house, right? When you're having the therapy, you're in your own space. So some people prefer that.
Yeah, I can see that as well, and as you said, cutting out the travel and everything, it's just like, it's like sometimes like a workout. I think, oh, should I go to the gym or should I just put on a home workout? And I usually always go for the home workout, so I don't have to bother going somewhere or getting properly dressed or something like that.
Sure.
And how can someone go about finding a qualified online therapist?
Well, all of our therapists are qualified. That is one of the really important parts, that you're not working with somebody that doesn't have the right level of qualification and a minimum of 3 years training. They will have done their own therapy as well, so they'll be able to sit in the room with somebody that has a multiplicity of difficulties, and they'll be able to work with you from a professional and ethical point of view, and that is absolutely essential. I can't emphasize that enough. So our therapists are all qualified, trusted, and very experienced. It's important that when you're watching the videos, you find somebody that resonates with you. You listen to their voice and so on, how you feel. But all our therapists are trained, and we check their qualifications and their insurance and such.
Yeah. And for someone considering online therapy for the first time, what steps should they take to get started? Are there any tips for preparing for a first online therapy session?
Sure. I mean, some people choose to prepare, but you absolutely don't have to. The real basics and the most important things is that you're somewhere comfortable and you're somewhere private and it feels like a safe place so that you can open up. As I said, it's a blank canvas. Some people might even prepare a little list of things, but generally, if you're looking for a therapist, it might be because something's happened. But just be prepared to go on the journey with your trusted therapist, because all sorts of things can come up that you didn't even know was there. And that's the thing, you're in a neutral space, so you're exploring these things and you're being supported on that journey, almost like you're not holding hands, but metaphorically you are. And that, your therapist will be able to guide you with that.
Yeah. And what do mental health professionals generally think about the rise on online therapy, if there is anything?
Yeah, I think it's an absolutely brilliant thing. I mean, it really is. And it's opened up therapy to so many people, from all sorts of different angles. It can, it's much easier. You can fit it in around your work. So a lot of people are working from home. So you could have a session early in the morning or at lunchtime or in the evening. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and it has revolutionized and made therapy much more accessible to numerous people. So it's a wonderful thing in my mind.
Yeah. And I think as well, a big thing that you said earlier on is that it is cheaper online therapy than in person.
Yeah, I mean, not always, but most of the time it can be financially more accessible. And we have the low cost therapy program, so that's also something that we wouldn't be able to do face to face. So we've been able to launch an affordable therapy program, so that's good. And yeah, I think because of the convenience, and you don't have the cost of the room hire and that kind of thing, and you're also cutting the cost of your travel if you were traveling
Yeah.
somewhere, and parking, and time, because time clearly is money. So from a convenience perspective, it's great. Other people choose to go to face-to-face therapy, and they'll have their own reasons. There's definitely a different dynamic.
Mhm.
I think, clearly, both hold many, many life-changing benefits.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And we've had great response from people finding therapists on our platform, and people who are English and live abroad, they would like an English therapist, and they're always happy when they come across, a therapist that they want to work with and that they get along with and that understands their culture as well. So that's
Yeah,
also
for
another.
sure. Yeah, really good points. Most people choose to have therapy in their mother tongue, and culturally understanding. You may share the same language, but culturally,
Mm,
will have different words, different meanings, different holidays, different
yeah.
family constellations. I think, what's really important is that you kind of recognize that, and the training in the UK, the proper training, I might add,
Mhm.
is to a really high level, and that's very, very important. It's important to work with somebody that has a proper training that's recognized.
Yeah.
So for all of those reasons, I recommend working with a properly trained UK therapist, one that you can trust as well. It's absolutely essential.
Yeah, completely. Well, thank you so much, Floss. Anything else you would like to add?
No, not at all. Please, as I said, if you've got any questions,
Yeah.
let us know. We'll put something down in the link below. Contact us if there's a topic you'd like to know more about. Then let us know. And if you have a question, Oliver can pass it on to me, and I'll answer that question
Yeah.
directly via email. If you have got other, you would like to speak to us about working with a therapist, again, there we have a service where you can book a call with Olive and one of the team, and basically they will place you, fill in a short form, and then you have a phone call, and then you'll be placed with suitable therapists, because it can feel a little bit daunting, but we're
Yeah.
100% here to help you on your journey. And it's a huge privilege to be in the position that we are able to help so many thousand people find their way through any mental health difficulties.
Thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions or anything at all, please send us an email or leave a comment below. Thank you.